One last step to get this hat really looking like advertised and like you want, really cool with this outside layer, is to secure it in place. You can see right now it's held in place with some pins, and that might be good around the house to make sure that it works, but we want to secure it. And I think ideally you would sew this together, you know, cut a strip from the fabric that you got, and then you could sew it right there, and then kind of wrap it around the hat, and it would you know, it's got some stretch, so you could stretch it over the hat, and it would stay right in place. You may not have a sewing machine, you may not have a sewing kit, but you already have the supplies that we asked you to get to make this project. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and actually glue it. I'm gonna use a little bit more epoxy. I'm gonna be very, very careful with it though, as I throw the cap. I'm gonna be careful with it on the hat because what I want to do is, I do want this fabric to stick to itself, and I do want it to stay onto the hat, but I wanna give myself options for the future to come up with a better solution, like if I get a sewing machine or if I get a sewing kit later and I want to go ahead and do that, that's going to be a better approach, but you'll need more stuff. If you already have it, great, but don't think it's going to be necessary to make this hat work. So I'm going to just use this epoxy really lightly in between the layers of fabric, because I do want them to stick to each other, but ideally it wouldn't seep through that bottom layer and get it onto the hat. I'm just going to pick a few spots in between, and it may not stay in all these spots, but to get a little bit of a seam in contact, I think that's going to be good. I like that part. And just running it right inside the seam there, and then pressing the fabric down to just make a little bit of contact, and I'll add a little bit at the bottom too. Okay, and I'm gonna go with that for now. I'll check back in a few minutes, make sure it's held, and then we'll call it. Okay, let's see how it's gone. It's 5 minutes now. I think the top did not take very well. No, that part didn't work. Middle seems okay. Yeah, not great, but not terrible. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Let's mix a little bit more here. Okay, it's been several minutes. Let's see. Yep, it's holding. Had to go a little bit more generous on the glue at the top there to get over the seam, but that seems to be holding. So I feel like if it starts slipping down, I may tack it a little bit more with glue, find another way, but I am happy with this.